The 95 Theses were written in 1517 by a priest and professor of theology named Martin Luther. His revolutionary ideas served as a catalyst for the eventual breaking away from the Catholic Church, and were later instrumental in forming the movement known as the Protestant Reformation.
The ideas of a reformation on the Catholic Church began during the second half of the 15th century from the movement called Christian humanism. They believed in the ability of humans to reason and improve themselves. The best-known Christian humanist was Desiderius Erasmus. Erasmus believed that Christianity should show people how to live good lives, not just provide beliefs that might help them be saved. Christian humanists were not the only ones calling for reform. Popular songs and printed images showed how people were critical of the Church.
Martin Luther began the Protestant Reformation in the early 1500s. Prior developments such as widespread intellectual changes during the preceding century had already set the stage for religious change. Martin Luther was a monk in the Catholic Church and a professor at the University of Wittenberg in Germany, where he lectured on the Bible. Catholic teaching had stressed that faith and good works were needed to gain personal salvation. Venerating a relic could gain someone an indulgence. It was a document sold by the Church that realized the bearer from all or part of the punishment of sin. The Church had authorized the monk Testel to sell indulgences to raise money to build St. Peter Basilica in Rome. In Luther's opinion, human beings were powerless in the sight of an almighty God and could never do enough works to earn salvation. For him, the only way to achieve salvation was by faith alone, and his only valid source of religious faith was the Bible.
Many historians could say that the Reformation movements began with the publication of Martin Luther's 95 Theses. For making people see his ideas, he posted a part of his document in the doors of a church in Wittenberg, Germany, in 1517, where people could observe new ideas that contradicted the original church's ideas.
Thousands of copies of the 95 Theses were printed and spread to all parts of Germany. Martin Luther, with all of his new ideas, invited people to start thinking and complain, because they never had a leader that contradicted church's ideas. During the next few years, Luther's religious movement became a revolution. He was able to gain the support of many of the German rulers. They motivated as much as politics and economics as by any religious feeling, quickly took control over the Catholic churches in their territories, forming state churches supervised by the government.
The three elements that supported the Counter-Reformation were: first was the establishment of a new religious order, the Jesuits. The second was the reform of the papacy, and the third element was the Council of Trent.
The Roman Catholic Church was unified under the Pope's leadership and had a clear body of doctrine. Catholics were now more confident and defenders of their faith.